Well, good morning. In the last while, I've pretty much stayed away from um, engaging in chat other than putting an emoticon or emoji or uh, some little thing like that. Typing has been difficult for me. I'm waiting for eye surgery, which I feel is um, something I've been talking about since I started chatting or typing in live chats on YouTube. Um, I believe it's the pressures in my eyes. Um, um, that are my biggest problem. That's what I believe, but I'm no eye specialist and I'm no surgeon. Um, I had surgery before. Essentially, holes are put in by laser on the tops of my eyes and allows them to drain out. It's not glaucoma. I've had it before, so it's not serious. They could have done a one-stop um, surgery if I could have withstood metal stints the outside of my eye. But I'm allergic to base metals, and that was the best he could do. Mm. I think probably this time, if that's what we're doing, he'll put my head in a brace um, before the first shot because anything after that, well, last time he did it, I jerked my head. Obviously, I had to keep my eyes open and stare directly at him. You could do that when you know you're going to get hit with a whack with a laser. So he ended up putting 4 holes. Not that big of a deal, except if you're looking down and then like look up suddenly, yeah, you can see more than one picture. Kind of cool, actually, like a cyclops, a connection to your eye. But anyway, I don't know. People seem to be. Maybe it's just me, or maybe it's been my absence from chats, or maybe it's me not supporting channels like I used to. But I did a brief live on the why I had to stop being a member on every channel that I supported and why I wouldn't be able to super chat. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's different. People are different. And I don't know, I explained, but I was embarrassed explaining why we need to hire somebody here um, to help my husband, to help us around the house, do the things he does, and then help him get to work and specialist appointments and whatnot. So we didn't have that kind of money. Just my husband doesn't make that kind of money every month, and with my income as well, yeah, we had to cut everything out that we possibly could. So I mean, I've given a couple of super chats in the last while, but there'll be it's a lot of money. If you're a sub and you're a member of say 20 channels, even if it's $3 a month, help me with the math here. That's $60. Think about it for a minute. Think about that and appreciate for channels. Appreciate every dang penny you get from your members or your super chat. We're still in COVID. A lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people are looking for work. You know, I mean, think about that. I don't know, but I'm not really certain that's the case. I don't know. Maybe people don't want to hear or don't want to enter a discussion, but I finally decided for a few different channels. Like I can't read the chat. It's that simple. The chat is moving too fast. I can't see it. The font is too small for me to. I go back sometimes, but I rarely do anymore. I mean, I listen to what the panel is saying, and that's pretty much it. So I take my keyboard, I bend my knees up, I put my keyboard on top of my knees, and I type. I can just about. I'm so close to the keys. I can just about lick them. Yes, maybe that's a bit grosser. Trust me, I haven't done it and I won't do it. But it's not easy. And when you see something typed for me, I mean, it's taken me not just a minute or two, like a lot of you type, it's taken me a long time. And I know when I type in, well, I assume maybe there are no highs or anything like that. I know when I type in a chat, possibly somebody is going to say hello or comment on what I'm saying, and I feel awful. It pulled me away from even typing because I can't see the chat. I can't see what anyone's typing. I take eye drops now 4 times a day, and or as you know, if I need them more often, I can take them. But okay, I'm cheap. Okay, um, if I was getting the brand name eye drops, they're $350 for a month supply. I'm getting the generic. Hello, I'm way too cheap, and they're 125 a month. That's killing me. I'm Scottish. I haven't driven that point home yet. Hello, listen to me. I'm Scottish. That being stated, though, um, I just wanted to give an update. My husband's doing better. We went for another consultation, and the specialist we saw wondered why he was put on the keep him comfortable, sent him for treatment, and sent him down one growth removed, and it's a polyp. So there you have it. I mean, his bowel is air quotes shit, but no, his bowel's not really acting very well for him. But that it is what it is on that one. I can't, you know, everything. Rome wasn't built in a day. And this is an interesting side concept. This specialist thinks that my husband definitely had COVID with the symptoms that he was showing when we went to see him, and the symptoms that he has now. And jumping to my eyes, listen, I'm not a whiner and complainer. I've been talking about the eye surgery, and then when COVID hit, the ophthalmologist canceled, and then I'd cancel, and then he can. I mean, we were both canceling back and forth. So, but I knew for about 3 to 4 years I'd need it. But they only do this surgery. It's like kind of like cataracts until it gets really bad. They don't want to do it unless it's really bad. Before, um, I could barely see a darn thing. So this is. I'm hopeful that this is a whole shoot match right here. It's scheduling now, and I think he's being cautious, which I appreciate, and I can wait. I have patience, but I know it seems like I don't know. If you have though, if you have a beef with me or an issue with me, please leave a comment. Let me know. At least give me that much. And I mean, it's not disliking anyone that I ended memberships. We had a huge expense, and we had to cover that before anything else. And it is what it is. It's life. It's part of life. Paying bills. I have to pay them. YouTube is a luxury for me. So, and I enjoy my luxury. As I typed in Randy's chat, I think it was Randy's chat, it said, I never realized just how much chats mean to me and people mean to me. Never realized I was, until I couldn't, which, hey, self growth. We've passed Lent, and I must say, this year more than any others, I've taken a lot of time to do a lot of self reflection. And yeah, I know kind of what was going on YouTube, and in some ways, I was glad that I couldn't put my 2 cents in. In other ways, I wish I could have. I usually don't like to comment on anything unless I have all the facts. And I don't know. There's nobody was wrong and nobody was right. Everybody was wrong and everybody was right. Really, it takes two to tango. I don't know. Uh, and there's nothing I can say, and I would never be able to fix anything. Um, my niece has been wanting to fly home a lot. I think she just wants a break from the husband and her own adult kids and her grandchildren. But I said, get a grip, weirdo. You just want clothes from me, which she could happily have. Obviously, I've outgrown some of the clothes that I have, but yeah. Anyway, my vision started going bad this summer, and I did everything I could to, be active. But I don't know, a couple months later, I started to see the ophthalmologist. First appointment was in the summer, and then, I had to go back like every couple of weeks to see him, and then he sent me for an MRI, and then a second one, and then a third um, MRI on a different area of the head neck. So, you know, I don't know what to say. It's just I feel I do miss interacting. The worst thing is, I, I love saying hi to everybody, and if I knew or remembered somebody was having it particularly hard, which maybe they just spoke in the chat. Sometimes I'd read the chat, and then if I type, I'd ask them and talk to them for a minute. But channel owners, when you're doing a live, read your chat, please. Don't read just some people you know. Read everybody if you can. Have the other person up there with you quiet, and you just talk in general about the topic you want, and have the other person looking at the chat, and they could type in the private chat for you to, like, attention to something, grab your attention, because like when you're doing your live, a lot of people might type something in, and the person who's doing that live that's on the panel and can miss less. If there's only one person, then that gets, that's less. It is what it is. I do miss everybody. I was sorry to hear about. I didn't know Midwestern Mary, but I was sorry to hear she passed away. I remember watching her years ago, a little bit, not much, um, but still, little girl, girls without her mom, and my husband is without his wife, and extended family of friends. I remember her being around when Holly and Dad had the bats in her home. I'm sorry, but Holly will always be remembered. To me, I'll always be reminded of Holly by the basket in her house. And then she went outside the door, showing him, thinking, there are more bats outside that could ever be in your house. What are you doing? And she had the lights on it. I'm thinking, they're going to be swooping around your head, girl, in a minute. Mm. And the only reason they fly around the house is they're trying like heck to get out. That's not a natural habitat for them at all. So here we are, masking. We're still masking, and we're checking for updates. Our province has lifted a lot of restrictions, but we haven't. I've had the 2 shots. I didn't get my booster yet, but my husband did, my sister did. So I guess I've got to get my act together and get that done too, right? Right. Um, YouTube has changed. Maybe I'm the only one that feels that, but YouTube has pretty much changed. I don't think it's for the better. I really don't. Like people that used to just have really good lives that, or uploads, because a lot of people do only uploads. people that used to just have pretty good lives, they're not around, or they've been attacked by somebody else, and they put their focus on that. It's easy to lose our focus, and it's hard to get it back. So I'm going to ask you to try and stay on task for what you're doing. Somebody has something to say about you. Like if somebody has something to say about me, like as I said, if somebody were to say you're faking and you just want attention, seriously, really, I just want attention. Well, I'm not going to go on camera to show you how my eye has that um, gauze and medical tape over it. Besides, I could put that on be faking, right? Right? Yeah. What I see right now with my eyes is two different pictures, and my left eye never worked. This is a weird thing, but now it is. So the brain, when the left eye wasn't covered, was getting two different pictures sent to it at the same time. It was really hard to walk. It was hard to even, it was hard to do any function, period. And then my husband said, well, why don't we cover that up? So we did. And yeah, there we go. I got a patch for my eye, but it was really uncomfortable wearing it. So then we just got the old gauze and, and medical tape. Medical tape is rough on the skin, but I'm anyway, maybe it'll give me some moisture and bring my, hey, maybe it'll end up looking like what do you call it, a facial lift. Yeah, I'll just have to tape it in different directions. Terrible, I'm ripping hair off though. That's a whole other story. I haven't figured out how to dye my hair. Yes, I dye my hair. I'm in my quest for saving money because I'm Scottish. I my I told my husband I wanted something from Amazon for Christmas. Didn't tell him what it was. Didn't know how to react. And they smoke, but I wanted an electronic cigarette machine. And it took me and it came in, and he thought I was on meth. Came in, and a couple weeks ago, he finally told him because the carton of cigarettes now here, that's 8 packages of cigarettes, is $220. Seriously, and the taste has changed. The taste very chemical. So anyway, he bought like a hat, the tobacco for like should have been for the equivalent of half a carton of cigarettes, and it was $32. $32. Do the math, right? 1/6 of the cost of a carton of cigarettes or more. But now it depends on who's working. Some give my husband a different price than other people. So it is what it is. But anyway, I can't see the stupid end of the thing to put the filter on. It's put the cigarette thing on. So he's rolling it for me. He's right into it. You smoke all these bunch of money. He's got like 40 of them rolled. But out of each container, which is the equal of half carton, that's here, we're getting about 6, 7 packages. And I use a brand called Canadian brand. It's mild. It's pretty mild. And I can't smoke all the ones that he rolls in the run of the day. But some of his are loose. If I wanted to spend like 200 and some dollars on a machine, I could have got one that I choose whether it's loose or medium rolled, medium whatever, or high, or thicker, more dense. And it's got a bigger shoot area, or whatever you want to call it, to hold the tobacco. Anyway, I guess I'd have to show pictures, which I might or might not do sometimes, because in essence, who cares? I'll tell you, there's a couple of channels that have stayed the same. Kyush, the husky, I think I showed you before. Yeah, well, if they went on a vacation to Wales and he stopped eating waffles, I don't know why, but he wouldn't. There was a stack of uneaten waffles. Was it the water in Wales? It must have been, but Yeah, he didn't like it at all. The whole thing just threw him right off. Didn't like it at all. And I think, well, his owner and her mom, I think, they had been locked up for so long. Then they're living in England. They probably just wanted to get away for a bit. It was lovely where they went, and he was fine at first, but no, not anymore. At the end of it. And he gobbled down waffles when he got back home. Go figure, huh? Mm. Uh, there's been a lot of talk recently about animals and whatnot, and I did type comments in Amanda's chat, which I left in on Truth's comment section. I removed it because I thought, oh my God, I don't, it's too easy to offend people who are ready to be offended at the drop of a hat. And I don't mean Tracy, the truth. I just mean there are people who started hating me over um the whole St. Jude thing, and seriously, but that was a riot incited, and people just needing to hate. I don't know what that's all about, but and some of them still have me blocked, and for that I say thank you. Continue on with your good work. Keep me blocked. Block me twice if you can. Hmm. But basically, I said that we all, like, I taught grade one. Now I taught high school and a couple of different subjects in high school, biology being one, chemistry being another, algebra and science math, two other subjects. Then I taught junior high, which was health, social studies, and um, English. And in elementary, I taught grade three, severely learning disabled children, and grade one. And grade one was the first year of school. There's no kindergarten or primary, as we call it in Canada. And most years in grade one, I'd have 31 students, 30 to 31. And every parent thought that they were the only parents that had the best parenting skills, and the teacher knew nothing. And I'd smile and thank them for all their tips, and then they'd call me at home in the evening, and the phone would be ringing off the hook for weeks. So after, a year of that and a lot of calls, I had all the parents come together on the second day of school, and I tell them exactly what we're going to do. And I mean, each night I prepare for my, for the next day. I did a lot more of it on the weekends, but there's always things to do. Make or color. Yeah, doing a lot of that. Wasn't good at it when I was little. Not much better when I was out in the West. But in essence, though, every parent and every child thought they had the right combination to make the perfect student, the perfect child, the perfect example. Everybody thought that. But what work for one parent and their child wouldn't necessarily work for another parent and their child. It's the same with dogs. And we have 4 Shelties. The Donnies are 4 Shelties. What worked in training my other Shelties didn't didn't apply or wouldn't apply for the others. And you know how I trained them? I mean, I read a couple of books, but then I just went back to put my teacher cap on and thought, okay, repeat things because they're little babies, right? Just keep repeating them. But what I would do for Colin or Robbie or Mikey or Donnie wouldn't work for somebody else and their dog, right? It's simple. What works for one won't work for everybody. We all have different ways of doing it. And I think consistency is important. My husband and I used to use different methods, and then we both sat down and I said, look, you show me how you teach them a command, like to sit or whatever, and I'll show you what I do. And that's what we did. So after our first dog, who was like, well, what do you want me to do? Sit or lay down? Get it together, folks. The minute we did though, you'd hold up a little treat for him, and he would sit, lay down, roll over, sit, stand, You go through the process and see how many treats you get. He was funny, Colin. Yeah, real bum. But Robbie was the one that had he had Napoleon attitude about it, personality. He was little, very little, and he was the one that I noticed you couldn't tell him everything. He knew it all. But one thing that was good about all of them, when they got in a situation, and of course, if they, more often than not, they're standing by me. Shelby's love to please. I could pick them up. Like they wouldn't scoot away or anything like that. I could pick them up and pull them out of a situation that they had, pretty much gotten themselves into. Um, but with a big dog, you can't do that, as we all know. When a dog gets past a certain size, you can't do it. Um, Trading Donnie, I wanted to show every day I was trading Donnie, and I started out with him online, and I was uploading, and then I noticed something with Donnie. I started, and I mean, you should start them in, you get the pup home. I noticed first I worried that he had a hearing problem. And I had what I thought was that you have to really kind of get his favorite treat, right? But he wasn't reacting enough. And a sit is probably one of the easiest commands, and he just didn't get it. We tried over and over and over again. Of course, I think he kind of had it, and I do another little video, and no, no. So that there were very few to no videos uploaded to Johnny, simply because by the time I realized, oh wait, now we have something more going on. Johnny was diagnosed with epilepsy around 3 months. No, I noticed he had it. It was a little bit later than that he was diagnosed, but not that much. And he was having grand mal seizures that didn't quite connect with me at first. And he still has petit mal seizures. But you know what's funny? My husband will say shake. And then he and I might start talking about something, and Danny will lift up his paw out of nowhere and as shy as anything, and I'll think, oh my God, he gets it. It's just, I don't know why he doesn't do it like when we ask him to, because we have a treat right there for him. But yeah, it's it. No, hasn't got any idea, but I know why he can't do what he can do. And the feet, I have psoriasis over my feet. And psoriasis hurts wherever it is. If you put it on the feet and you're standing on them, and yeah, that little goof bag, I did everything I could to try and keep them away from my feet. And I finally, in the summer, had to wear rubber boots. Oh, in the pen. Yeah, listen, that's when you need to have your cameras, folks. Oh my God, I look ridiculous, but I had to protect my feet. And I mean, him, like somebody said, they kind of do a jump. They jump in and then they run, but they nip, and their little teeth are sharp. So I had to do what I could do. I would never, like truth, I thought I was bare feet, but I'd never have bare feet around um Donnie when he's a pup. Not with any of them actually. I don't know. And I wore my Birkenstocks. Okay, keep your comments to yourself. They're very comfortable. I wore socks with them, but that wasn't enough to protect my feet. And at first I thought, oh my God, I've lost when I first started training Donnie, I was completely in tears, and I said to my husband, he's not listening to me now. Like, I don't know what to do. But then my husband said, he's not listening to me either. So I mean, he's just a tiny little baby. We weren't going to desert him. So anyway, when we realized that it wasn't really his fault, we still expected him to listen to us, but we looked for other ways to get him to like stop barking, or to get him like whether he sat or rolled over and things. We didn't really care. but there were things that we needed like to come to us, and he's pretty good. He'll do that now. But there's other things we just let go because it doesn't matter that much. And everybody has their, like, you know, everybody has their own way, right, of doing things. It is what it is. We all love our animals. And yes, I would have loved to have shared. I mean, Mikey was a hoot to train. And actually, Robbie, as much as he was a Napoleon, he was an interesting little guy. He would have been interesting to share. And it's a shame I didn't because he would get a blade of grass in his mouth, and we live right on the water. Well, just, so many feet from the water. And he'd stare at the water, sometimes after an hour, and he'd put one paw through you know, just latch it onto the fence. And he'd sit there forever. He'd come in and tell me when the birds were out swimming in the water, the geese. He'd come in and whisper bark, and I'd go out with the camera and videotape them. I wish I had access to those videos because the camera they're on is kind of like frozen. I can't get it to work. I've tried new batteries and everything, so sadly, I think I've lost them. But he was a ride. Robbie was um, a complete turkey face. Oh, he was sweet. They were all unique. I mean, that's just in our same breed, but everyone's completely different, and it all depends on what they're able to do. So I don't know. I think it's something that took on a life of its own, and unfortunately, comments were made that I don't know. Sometimes it's good to stand back, I guess, and look at something. You see, the other people were talking about, um, I couldn't see Maggie until just about the end. I could hear Truth talking, but I couldn't say, oh, this happened. I couldn't see it. Is it my vision? Could be. I don't know. And listen, for all the mistakes I made with my own dogs, I'm going to say right now, I'm the first one to apologize. I mess up every day with Donnie. I do. I do completely. And I'm sorry, folks out there and YouTube land and Donnie, sweetheart, I'm sorry to you. Yeah, you'd probably have me standing on my head if you knew what I was saying. But yeah, no. I wouldn't have been able to get a dog or puppy soon after Mikey passed away. And so I was kind of glad that we actually couldn't find one. Well, we couldn't get a breeder to agree to put us on the wait list, but it was COVID, so that it is what it is. But yeah, anyway, I really messed up my Twitter account. Oh my god! So this one morning, I was trying to change my name before was uh, Lynn at LM Cape. I think that's what it was. And I thought, why not change it to Mac 11 Lynn? Because hey, that's my YouTube name, right? Oh God. I deleted it. I clicked on something and what did I click on? Change my name. Oh my God. My husband said, don't do it. Wait until I come in. Because seriously, I can see a computer screen, and the computer screen has been moved very close, a lot closer to me, and I can also move it back very easily. But I don't know why I didn't wait for him. They come back in. When he came back in with Donnie after taking him out that morning, he looked at me and, oh, you couldn't leave it, could you? I come back in, and I couldn't. No, I couldn't. So there you have it. Stupid. So I thought I was going to have to offer. I didn't know I was going to have to offer Randy. And she was holding out, but I finally got her. But yeah, um, look of it. Anybody wants to follow me there, I say nothing and do nothing, but sometimes I share something interesting, maybe. Then it's kind of interesting to me. Um, yeah, I don't know what the heck my name is. I'll put it in my tell me something about the video in that little thing, or I'll link it in the first comment and then pin that or something. Whatever. I'm not getting notifications now for any videos, and I find it even harder coming into a chat. Mind you, I still have Windows 7, and I have a new computer ready to hook up, but which I've had for 2 years. My husband's about ready to have a fit. Like, oh my God, this is not going to be out of date, or probably doesn't work. And I'm thinking, chill out, weirdo, chill out. But no, he's not a weirdo. It's this because, and I should get it. I should put it together. I should, and get all the email addresses and passwords correct, and the ones that I want, the ones that I don't want. But yeah, I just seem to like to live on the edge, huh? Our weather is weird. We still see some snow and freezing rain, but some years, well, my mother-in-law at the age of 59, going on 60, went to her graduation in Antigonish in a blizzard, and that was in May. But I thought when I heard the story, it was in June. But my husband said no, it was in May. But anyway, you don't have a blizzard in May or June, right? Well, we did. And they were like freak things that had happened. It wouldn't last say any time, but yeah. I'm gonna have to figure out a new way to do cards. We always love to send cards, especially to the elderly around here, and we're still sending to some from my mother-in-law's card list and friends out west. But around here specifically, a lot of people who live in the country areas, they have civic addresses. So um, if we don't have the exact civic address, there's driver who comes to the post office every morning, picks up the mail and takes it to the civic address. And if it's not the exact civic address, it won't be delivered. And stamps what they are. Um, who's going to pay the price of postage if it's not going to, can't be delivered? So I'm thinking I should start calling people and ask them for the mailing address, because some people, like we have a post office box in the post office, and some people did, but it's kind of expensive though. His mom actually did that, so and we kept it up. Um, yeah, but things just won't get mailed. We get enough. Well, usually get a few cards returned every year, but we're still and then our numbers are still just under 300 um cards. Mind you, that's 90 some to my husband's staff and fellow workers and whatnot. So we yeah, it's kind of nice. And then a lot of people get him us cards back. So anyway, I don't know if I explained anything, folks. And if you have questions or anything, one thing about here is I get a notification. Well, I don't get that bell going off anymore, but I can click on that bell and I can see that somebody left me a comment, so I can go and read it. And then I can enlarge the text. But my vision's clear enough. Because you know what? Sometimes when somebody goes live and I know them, I do go take some more drops. I know. But not that it helps me with things like put my mouse in the flipping chat. You know how hard that is sometimes? Eh, anyway. Yeah, look, if you have any questions, you want to leave a comment, you want to say hi, want to say kiss my butt, but don't do that. Well, okay, if you want to leave pictures of your dog, your cats, or your dragons, or what anything, everything. I hope everyone is feeling well. I know people have lost loved ones, and I've lost touch with so many folks on here, and I'm sorry that I did. For any of you who have lost someone, I'm so sorry to hear that. Diane lost her mom, and doesn't matter what age they are, our best and closest and dearest friends were my dad, his mom, his dad, my mom, his aunt, and we took care of three of them. And then, everybody else sideways. That we used to spend a lot, the Golden Gang. Yeah, I don't know. The age, actually, sometimes the age they live to, it just makes it that much harder, I feel, to let go. You just have so much time. It becomes more of a routine to talk to them on the phone and things like that. And I don't know, they were wise with knowledge and experiences that there's no one left to take their place that can say, oh, here's what I do, or here's how I cook this, and somebody to worry about you a little bit. I don't know. It's just a whole different frame of living. And some people maybe don't have a close relationship with parents or whatever, so they don't understand what you're talking about. But I get it. My husband's out today buying new spring tires or like all season, but we get winter tires here for the winter, and then take them off and put them in, put them away, blah 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 blah, and then these ones, and they're good because we get really heavy rain, and it'll stop the hydroplane. It's not near as bad, but I think people in other countries either that's too expensive to get the two sets of tires. But anyway, that's what he's doing, and he's also going to get this stove. For the life of me, I've asked him about a million questions. Nothing's connecting. The dots are not connecting for me, folks. I said, well, okay, so you're getting this stove. Yep. Well, I said, well, are you going to cook on it? No. I mean, I'm probably looking at him like he's stupid as a chick. I said, well, what are you going to burn paper? I said, what is the fuel? Well, whatever you burn in it. I'm thinking, we're not going to get anywhere with this. I think, well, could you cook something in it? No. Why? Oh, I wouldn't want to. I said, but could you if I gave you like the wood or something? I suppose, but I wouldn't. Oh my God. It was like dealing with a brick wall. He said, there's no top on it. I said, well, like in a blizzard, could you go out and start it and boil tea? No. So I don't know. We're gonna have to see a picture of this. I don't know. It must be a flat face and a door to open, like a fireplace kind of thing. It makes no sense to me, and I would be kind of leery about putting paper in something like that. I mean, you'd have to move it fast to get that sucker closed before, that stuff would fly out. Oh my God. There goes the house and be burned down. You watch. Yeah. Anyway, folks, we'll talk again sometime soon. Everyone, be well. Much love. Hugs and kisses from Donnie and I.